Hey everybody. Okay, I am going to just drop this in here to Facebook and make sure that all of you guys are and we're live. And there we go. Okay. So, anyways, how are you guys doing? I am just kind of getting ready, actually just making sure that I've got all the classroom criteria and everything else ready for next week. There's just going to be a whole lot going on. And I know that, first off, I just want to make sure that, well, actually, I apologize if there's any echo because, well, we're in a new place, as I've been talking about for the last, several weeks or so. So, this is my new office. And as you can tell, it needs a lot of work. So, we just moved in last weekend, I think it was, and my body still hurts from moving all that furniture and heavy boxes and all that. I am just way out of shape. So if you're in the chat, just say hello, and also if you've been here before, then just make sure to hit the like button. So just to give you guys an idea, for those of you that have never been to Texas school, it is actually up in Addison. So, hey, Steve, how's it going? By the way, how's the video quality? My internet here is not as good as it was at the studio, but it will be once I upgrade to fiber, hopefully. Plus, I'm running on a PC this time instead of on my Mac. So I just, if I have any, problems or whatever, I apologize. But anyways, so for those of you guys that haven't been to Texas school before, well, first off, it is next week. Let's see, audio is stuttering some. Okay, well, hopefully it'll fix that. So, hey, Kaylee, how's it going? Hopefully, Steve, the audio will start to fix itself, I hope. If not, I apologize. Again, this is the first time I'm running it on this computer using this platform as far as the web-based version of the YouTube Live. So yeah, fingers crossed for sure. But so where was I? Okay, so for those of you guys that haven't been before, it's going to be, hey, Diana, how's it going? You join in every single week, so thank you. But yeah, for those of you guys that haven't been before, the Texas School is basically, well, not basically, it's a week-long educational event for photographers. There's also a trade expo with all different, photography vendors like Nikon and InView and all that good stuff. A whole lot of camera brands and gear, LumaQuest, all that kind of stuff. So, but also I said before, I apologize if there's echo or reverb in this room. Not that you can hear it very well, because it sounds like it's the audio is stuttering. It's not just me. So, but Texas School has been going on for maybe 2 decades. So I was saying earlier, Dinah, it's I'm in a new place. This is kind of my new office slash computer room. I'll also have a shooting room, but as you can tell, it's there's almost nothing in here. So, but anyways, so yeah, it's been going on for a couple decades, I think. I went back in '03, something like that. And I took Ralph Romagira's senior portraits class, which covered everything from posing and lighting, especially off-camera lighting and just all that stuff. So it was great. So I am the only one teaching a wedding photography workshop. Apparently, it hasn't been done in a long time. I was talking to Don Dixon, the guy that that runs Texas School. We had a talk on Monday, and last year he had contacted me just trying to get an idea of what it was going to cover, all that kind of stuff. And fortunately, I've been teaching the workshop here Andy, your dentist? Are you in the weight room right now, or are you actually in the dentist chair? Because I'm sure the hygienist is probably giving you a weird look if if you're actually having your teeth cleaned right now. That's funny. So I hate going to the dentist. They always tell me I don't floss enough, no matter how many times I brush my teeth before I actually go. But anyways, so yeah, I mean, it's up in Addison. It starts next week on Sunday, and I'm really looking forward to it. I've been teaching a wedding photography workshop here in Austin through Precision Camera for years, and now that one was like a 6 hour workshop, and we covered a lot of the same topics that we're going to cover next week at Texas School. However, obviously with 5 days, we're going to go a lot more in depth than what I usually cover. So in the chair waiting for the hygienist. Are you watching the video, Andy, or are you just listening on your headphones? Or even better, you're probably not even using headphones. Everybody in the dentist office say, "Hi, everybody in the dentist office. This is Dustin Meyer doing a completely pointless live stream." So, anyways, um, so, but yeah, as I was saying, I am really, really excited about next week. This is the first time I've been asked to teach at Texas School, so I'm a little nervous, but also like I said, I've been teaching for a long time, and I've always enjoyed doing it. I feel like, I've learned a lot from workshops that I've gone to, as well as just other photographers that I've known in the industry for a long time. Because when I got my photography degree at St. Edward's here in Austin, we didn't really cover wedding photography or retail photography at all, for that matter. And we went over like fine art stuff, and a lot of people in my classes were like, "Oh, I'm going to be a street photographer," and blah blah blah. And I'm like, "Yeah, I have a daughter on the way in 2 weeks, so I got to start making some money, not living as a starving artist." Not saying that there haven't been times where I've actually been starving, but so yeah, a lot of people that I went to school with that eventually became wedding photographers, or whatever, they have been really amazing as far as sharing what they've learned. So a lot of the stuff that I'm going to be teaching are going to be things that have just kind of been handed down from one photographer to another. And so I feel like it's my turn, or it's been my turn to kind of share everything that I know. And because it's fun, especially when you get a lot of people together. I obviously don't know everything. And, there's always, people that bring up some stuff that they've been doing for a while that, they'll contribute to the group and everything. So it works out really well. We actually learn together. Plus, as you guys have already noticed, I talk nonstop. I don't know if it's a nervous type of thing, or if I'm just a nervous talker, or if it's just inherently something that I've always done. I don't know. My son talks all the time. I mean, it's almost like he's afraid that he's going to lose the use of his voice if he doesn't stop talking. So, yeah, I think it's genetic. But anyways, so yeah, a lot of times when I'm teaching, sometimes I'll actually say stuff like tips or lessons or whatever that I've never thought before or thought of. It just comes out. So in a way, I'm kind of educating myself as I'm doing my best to educate you guys as well. So moving on. Let's see. Right now, I think I talked about having or shooting a wedding. What was it, 2 weekends ago? Because it wasn't last week. We were moving, and it was freezing here in Austin. I want to say it was 43 degrees. It was probably the shortest ceremony I've ever done, and unfortunately, it was the shortest bride and groom wedding portraits I've ever done, because the poor bride, she's just skin and bones, and her teeth were chattering during the ceremony. So thank goodness, I was just taking pictures. So can you confirm if we have a Keurig in class? You know what? I don't know. That is a really good question. Uh, I don't know. I'll have to look into that, if I can remember while I'm trying to get everything done for our curriculum. But that is one of the most important questions I think people have asked in a while. So that one's like right above the next question which is, do we need to bring laptops? So, and the answer to that question is I do encourage it. I did send out an email to everybody that was going to be that is going to the class for next week. There's several reasons why I'm encouraging people to bring laptops if you have one. Number one, something that you can actually use to dump all your images onto, hopefully, every day, because you want to be able to back that stuff up. I definitely don't want you guys to run out of memory card space, especially if you only brought one. The other reason why I am recommending that you bring a laptop, Marvin a few days ago asked me if we were going to go over Lightroom, Photoshop, editing, that kind of stuff. And my answer to that question is yes. Now, I personally don't have a laptop. I have an iPad Pro, which actually does a lot of the same stuff to a degree. So I'll be able to demonstrate things like Lightroom Mobile. Plus, some of you guys may know that for my retouching software, I use Portrait Pro Studio Max. They have a newest version, I think 17 or something like that. They have an app for the iPad, which is pretty similar to what they have for PC and Mac. It is There's a few features that it's missing, but I'm more than happy to go over it. I have my HDMI connection for my iPad to go up on the projector, but at least you'll get a good idea of the way I like to do retouching for portraits, headshots, all that kind of stuff. So let's see, probably no Keurig. Haven't seen anyone in classroom in previous years all, but then again, I haven't looked. Just got Portrait Pro and I love it. Awesome. Did you use the promo code that I've been posting in the videos, Diana? It's Dustin10. It's all caps. I think it's 10% off or something like that. The version that I have is Portrait Pro Studio Max, which allows you to do batch processing. So once you create a preset for a particular person, then you can import multiple images of that person and just have it batch all those faces for retouching. And for the most part, it does a really good job. The one thing that I recommend is that when you export the JPEGs, or because there's a Lightroom plugin, really boost the sharpening on those images before you import it, because it just makes it a whole lot easier for the software to detect the faces in the photos. Let's see. Diana, or portrait. Oh, little misspelling there. Like protractor pro. Okay, I'm glad. Kaylee says, I'm glad we'll be going over some editing. I'd personally like to know your process of getting rid of images and which to keep. That is a really good point. Do me a favor and write that down. In fact, everybody who's watching, if you have questions about anything in particular, just write it down, bring it with you, or you put it on your phone, the easiest way for you to do it, because I want to make sure that not only are you thinking of questions right now, I want to make sure that you don't forget to ask those questions, because I may not automatically bring that stuff up while we're actually shooting, as well as being in the classroom, all that kind of stuff. But as Kaylee was asking, yes, there's a few ways that I like to do my editing. The one thing that I'm still working on is, I know a lot of us will shoot thousands, anywhere from 1,500 to 2,000, just depending on if you're by yourself or if you have a second shooter. And I'm still one of those, I hoard all of those images that, even the ones I don't pick for the final count because I'm just terrified of getting rid of them. However, a couple of times because of that, I've had problems where, clients, when they get the final selection of images, whether it's 300 or 500 or however many you guys decide to give the clients, once maybe a year, I'll have a client that says something like, well, I want to see all of them, blah, blah, blah. And when I'm editing, most of the time, it's I'm getting rid of duplicates or where somebody blinks or the flash didn't go off, ones that people couldn't use anyways. What I'm really doing is I'm looking for images that could potentially go into the album because that's always kind of my end goal because every single thing that I offer every single thing that I offer in my packages and stuff includes some kind of product. I'm not just a shoot to burn photographer. So let's see. Let me check over here on the Facebook page real quick, make sure okay, good. Just want to make sure that everybody is good to go, that everybody's in here that wants to be in here. So yeah, we'll go over that. And who knows, we may actually be able to come up with ideas together, encourage each other. Look, we're paying for all these additional hard drives and everything else. I also use Dropbox and I have a terabyte account and it's not cheap. So of course, not that I upload every single image that I shot at a wedding into Dropbox. It's just my final selections. But either way, once I take images down from a particular wedding, usually the wait period is about 2 years or so. Once the clients have gotten all those pictures, they've gotten the USB flash drive, the Dropbox is supposed to be a backup for them, an online backup that they can always access. And I do that for a year. And then if they want to just download them for Facebook or whatever, that's why I keep it. But of course, just to kind of play it safe, I'll keep it up for about 2 years or so. I just haven't gotten into the habit of pulling it down once it's been posted. So anyways, what are we gonna let's see, let's go to some more questions. I keep them all too. Yeah, I know. And it's Steve, it's one of those things that it's kind of a catch 22 because you give them your best selection of all the pictures that you've taken, whether it's, like I said before, 300 or 500 or, whatever. But there's just that inherent fear that they're going to come back and want to see all of them. So I really think that it's a good discussion for us to have. I know that some of you guys that are going to the class probably have some ideas or different ways that you've tried before that work for you, that, is the least amount of resistance. So I think that we're all going to learn a lot together, which is one of the reasons. It's one of the biggest reasons why I like to teach and all of that, because I'm always learning stuff too. Let's see. Diana, I usually keep them all as well. I'm bad at purging. I know. I am a digital hoarder too. It's not just, I'll put it this way. When we moved all of our stuff out of our old house, we had just so much that we realized we kept over the years that we don't really need. And of course, we fell into that problem of, okay, where are we going to put all this stuff? And then I'm thinking, no, we don't have enough space. It's got to go. And even with my photography equipment, I had a bigger studio than what I have now. So it's either going to have to go, some of my gear or the stuff that's coming with me. So it's going to be tricky. Sierra, let's see. Hey, Sierra, how's it going? My wife says the exact same thing when she comes home from work. So you're making me blush. Steve says, I need to remove all the photos I didn't pick from Lightroom, one of my to-dos. Yeah. And even if I'm too scared to get rid of all of them. I need to be more efficient with my servers and my backup stuff. I use a QNAP servers, and you can pull the hard drives, they're hot swappable. And after, a few years have gone by, being able to just yank out a hard drive that's completely full and put in a fresh one, and then take that old hard drive and put it somewhere else, it's obviously that's what they're for. However, it's really bad habit of mine that I just keep buying more drives, like external drives, and it creates just more clutter. So now that we're in a new place, my goal is to try and keep as little clutter on my desk as possible, because clutter in of itself just, it stresses me out. There's nothing, especially if the bed's not made. I know it's weird. It's like bordering on OCD. But if the bed's not made, when I walk into the room, it just ruins my day in a way. So every morning I make the bed, but today I think I forgot to. I'll have to do that after we finish today. So, but yeah. And as I said before, everybody probably does their image backup slightly differently. So together we can all come up with a strategy that works really well, hopefully. Let's see. Chip says, my lovely and talented wife will also be at Texas school in a different class. We will have to share lenses. Do we have any particular days that one lens might be better than another? Chip says we have a 24 to 70, 70 to 200, an 85, and a 28. Damn, that's a hard question. So I'll have in the email that I sent out to everybody and to the students at Texas School, if you didn't get the email, please let me know if you're attending my class. I'll make sure I send it to you directly. I will be bringing my my 14 to 24, 24 to 70, and 70 to 200. I've got a 51.4 also, but I really don't use it at weddings that much. I think that things are happening way too fast to not use a zoom lens. However, maybe, Chip, what you guys should decide on. That is a good God. I don't know the answer to that. I think one of you should use the 24 to 70 and maybe the 70 to 200, while the other person takes the 85 and the 28, and then you guys can swap. The other thing you might want to do, Chip, is, depending on, because every class has a slightly different schedule when it comes to, because there's two parts. There's the classroom part, and then there's the shooting part. Now, I have already determined what our schedule is as far as at what day we're going to be shooting in the mornings, and then having the classroom in the afternoons. And then also, because I try to alternate it so that we can get different kinds of lighting and stuff, because if all we do is just shoot in the mornings, then I think that it would just be best if we had several different options. And also, I think, was it Tuesday night, we have an evening shootout at one of the parks, Addison Park, something like that. So if she's going to be there, which I'm assuming she will, because everybody is going to be at that shootout, then you guys can just swap lenses, throughout the entire shootout, which would actually be kind of cool. So I don't know. I think you guys just kind of need to plan out what, when you're going to, I don't know, what time of what day you're going to be shooting. In fact, that reminds me, if I haven't posted it already or sent it to you guys, I need to send you our schedule, what day, because I can't remember. I'm still busy trying to get everything else ready. I'll need to send you, I can send you what day like Monday, I think we're shooting in the morning and then classroom in the afternoon, and then it swaps on Tuesday. No, Monday's classroom first in the morning and then shooting in the afternoon, because we have 3 sections on Tuesday. I think what we did, what I chose was shooting in the morning, classroom in the afternoon, and then we have the shooting thing in the evening. And then Thursday is going to be backwards. It's going to be classroom and then shooting, I think. Don't take my word for it right now. I don't actually have my notes in front of me. So I'll make sure to post that in the Facebook group. And that way you guys can prepare for it, especially you, Chip, you and your wife. Let's see. More questions. Kaylee, I'm the same on my old laptop. It ran out of space on a trip, and I had to literally sort through so many duplicates. It took hours. Yeah. One thing that you might want to consider, in fact, if you guys are willing to be patient with me here for a second, I'm going to show you what I have. Yes, having a I'm going to just pull up. I was going to pull up Amazon, but you guys can check it out here. I think that's it. QNAP. Okay, let's see. Products. Is it this one? Yeah. Data and Media Center. Okay. I think that's the one that I've got. So what I was going to say while I'm looking for this is you might want to consider checking out QNAP, QNAP, because they have a whole range of, here, I'm going to put the link here, network interface peripherals like hard drives, servers, stuff like that. But they're not like the servers you see in those IBM commercials or anything like that. I've got a 4-bay. It's kind of like a Drobo, except instead of using a USB interface, it uses your network in your house, which has a much faster transfer rate if the computer that you're using is directly connected to your network via Ethernet. Now, the other cool thing is with my server, I can actually access it when I'm on the road, whether I'm, plugged into an Ethernet connection, which I don't because I don't have a laptop, or if you're using Wi-Fi or whatever, but you can actually access your server through their website interface with your personal login, password, all that kind of stuff. You can manage your storage and everything else. The one thing that you can't do that I wish it could do is, because you're using this mini server as your storage space and it's using a network connection instead of USB, you can't use it for Dropbox. For those of you guys that use Dropbox, Dropbox requires a actual USB, external drive, or, if you've got enough space on your hard drive inside your computer. So I would actually recommend checking out QNAP. I've got 2 of them. The first one I think I bought 2 years ago. And like I said before, it's hot swappable. Mine's a 4-bay. For those of you guys that really want to make the most advantage of it, you can also use it to store your iTunes library. You can also use it to store movies and, of course, photos. That it's got an HDMI output, so you can actually hook it up to your network and then watch stuff from your TV. I don't use it for that because I want to have all the hard drive space that's available to use for all the images that I take. So check it out. It might work for you. It might not. Totally up to you. But I like the fact that it's hot swappable. It's through the network interface instead of having a bunch of peripheral external hard drives, and also that you can access it from anywhere when you're on the road or away from your office or whatever. So check that out. Go to Amazon, go to their main website using the link I just posted. They have 2 bays. They have 4 bays. And it goes up and up. Some of them, they have their own processor built in, and they also have RAM that you can expand and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, anyways, just check it out, see if it's for you. So let's see. Plus, it's also for backup stuff. You can actually use it as a RAID, which unfortunately I don't. I just use it as a giant hard drive. So let's see. Let me go down here. Chip. Nope, we already got that one. Steve Coyle, Thursday night for the shootout. Thank you. Yeah, I've got so much I'm just trying to prepare for that it's the most important thing, probably the schedule. Actually, no, the shooting part and the classroom part, but the schedule is important. Just knowing, like I said. So, but anyways, I have it written down in my notebook, which is not in this room. I think I left it on the kitchen table, but I will email it to you guys, and that way you've got like a hard copy. So, um, Chip, sounds good. We'll just make our best guess and then swap around. Thanks. I actually think you have a slightly better advantage than some people because you've got 2 zooms, 2 primes, and you'll be able to either carry all 4 around if it's your turn to use them and your wife's in a classroom, or vice versa. But the nice thing also is that if you want, you guys can just, okay, for one part, Chip, you just use the 24 to 70 and the 70 to 200, while your wife uses, what was it, the 85? Yeah, 85 and 28 for another one. So, and then you guys swap for the next one. So then you would use the 85 and the 28 while she uses the zoom lenses. Because I will say this, if you get out of your comfort zone, if you change it up a little bit, it definitely helps kind of, I don't know, refresh your eye. One time, swore I'd never do it again, but one time I shot an entire wedding with just a 50 millimeter. It was stressful. It was scary. The pictures turned out great, but there was a lot of times where I really wish I, at least had a couple more primes, like, slightly, deeper zoom and like the 85, and then also a wide, not zoom, sorry, prime lens, and then maybe a 28 or something like, or 24, whatever it is. So I felt a little constrained, but it did force me to get out of my comfort zone for sure. Could not go on autopilot, which sometimes we're all guilty of doing. Let's see. Kaylee, what does the shootout look like? Do we stick together as a class or spread out like a free for all? um, that's a good question. That I'm not really sure. I don't think they would actually restrict us to a shootout, like to being in the same group. However, it is possible. Maybe what they do is kind of we all stick in our own home group and we rotate from one setup to another. And that way everybody gets a chance to do it instead of everybody flooding one particular setup, like some guy on a Harley. Everyone thinks it's so awesome. So then everybody goes over there. I don't know. Let's see. Hard drive, pretty sure some of the vendors have at least shootout has been on your own or as you like in the past. Okay, Jay, thank you. So I don't know. What I would recommend is if you do notice that there's a ton of people at one particular area shooting one kind of thing, even if you really, really, really want to shoot that too, go try something else first, because there may be some that not a lot of people are using. So you would actually potentially have that almost all to yourself, and you can just experiment and play around. And then once you've done that, you can go over and do the other one that's extremely popular, or, whatever. So just like with all my portrait sessions and weddings and all that jazz, I try to provide as much variety as possible. So, for example, I'm doing like senior portraits today. It's a 3 outfit session. And instead of just doing, one particular spot for one particular outfit, I actually try to do 2 different looks for each outfit. So, for the first outfit will go by a creek, and then the next one she'll climb a tree or something. No, I'm kidding, but you get what I'm saying. So overall, there'll be 6 different looks or setups for total, 3 outfits, 2 setups for each outfit. Because again, I don't want to feel like they were constrained during the shoot. And a lot of times, the first 5 minutes for me doing a particular setup is really just kind of warming up, getting the layout, seeing how the lighting works, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I would recommend that you start with something where there's not a whole lot of people, but then go to other ones too, because well, you get what I'm saying. So, Steve, by the way, is my audio better or is it still really choppy? I don't know. Well, we'll see in a second. So let's see. Still stuttering. God damn it. I'm sorry. Um, like I said, this microphone is a USB mic connected to my PC, and I don't think that it's connected to any other programs. It might also be because I installed my server here at the new place earlier today, so that could potentially Sydney, let's see. I just got a notification. It could potentially be trying to online backup or something along those lines. Actually, you know what? I need to jump back into Facebook real quick and just see where to make comment questions. Okay, let's see. Go to the actual YouTube page to wait. I don't know. I've never done it this way. I mean, I've done it via YouTube before, but you know how Facebook is. It would rather you stay on Facebook, even if you post a link to another site. Um, so if let's see, Sydney, go to the actual YouTube. Okay, hopefully Sydney will be able to join us in a second. So, anyways, uh, okay. So back to what we were talking about. In fact, now I can't remember. Oh yeah, my microphone. Currently right now, my internet isn't as fast as it is at my old studio because I'm still using my old studio. I just was getting a lot of stuff done this morning at our new house, so I wasn't able to go over there and live stream from there. So I do apologize if the audio quality sucks. So I'm going to be installing fiber here probably in the next month or so, and also have my better quality microphone in the anyways, so hopefully it'll be slightly better quality. Let's see. Do. Diana, I'll check it out. She's talking about QNAP, and have my IT god husband look into it too. Thanks. I think that you'll get a lot out of it. It definitely simplifies things because it can hold a lot more. So you won't have as many peripherals, cluttering your work area. I have at my old place 3 Thunderbolt external drives from our Mac, plus a couple of USB 3.0 hard drives, and they take up my whole desk. It's really annoying. So anyways, let's see. Steve, I'm still using external hard drives just because from what I've found, once you go to NAS, using online backups becomes much more expensive. So I'm not sure if you mean that the NAS goes through the actual internet from your computer, but so my setup for my NAS is it's plugged directly into my cable modem, where my PC is also plugged into the same cable modem. So they're on the same personal network, Ethernet connection together. So It's whoops. It's not like Dropbox, and it's not in a completely separate location. They're actually wired together using the actual hub in my office here at the new house. Pretty sure some of the vendors will have lenses you can try. At least they did a couple years ago. Yeah, that could be a possibility. I actually haven't had a chance to really speak with Nikon that much in the past month or two because they've been, busy with WPPI and, or wait, maybe that's the one they don't go to. It's either the Imaging USA or WPPI. A lot of vendors are kind of, don't say this, but a lot of vendors are actually backing out of WPPI because they kind of get lost in the noise because there are so many vendors. Plus, it's just gotten so much more expensive to have a booth there. So I think they'll sponsor speakers to kind of generate brand awareness. But I don't know specifically if they have a booth there or not. I know Enview pulled out of WPPI, but Enview will be at Texas School, which will be cool. In fact, speaking of which, for those of you guys that don't know what Enview is, it's n-view.com. They do like online galleries for your clients and stuff. They do wedding albums, printing, gallery wraps, all that stuff. Kind of like Miller's, but they also have the online gallery thing as well. Oh yeah, and they'll edit your photos too, like retouching plus post production for shooting big events, stuff like that. Anyways, they'll be there as well. However, I got a message from Enview earlier today saying that Texas School is really cracking down on having vendors come to the classrooms for presentations and stuff. Basically, whatever. I was going to have Nikon come in and just talk about some stuff, and Enview was going to come in and give like a short presentation about what their services are, because they have so many things they offer that I can't. There's probably some services they have that I don't even actually use. Plus, they rolled out some new stuff that's in beta right now that I thought would be a really great way for them to demonstrate on the screen. But from the way it sounds, they may not be able to do that. So they asked if I could actually bring the class to their booth, and I told them we've got around 25 people in the class, so that might be too many. So we'll try to figure something out. I don't know. This being my first time teaching at Texas School, I really don't want to burn any bridges because I'd like to be able to come back. So we'll see. We'll just kind of play it by ear. Still, no. Online backup companies charge more if the external drive is not directly connected to your computer. Okay, so Steve, from what I'm getting from you, if you are, I'm not saying Dropbox, but let's see what else. I mean, there's a couple of online server companies like Amazon AWS and a few others that you can expand your online storage as you need. And Google Drive has the same thing. I've got 2 terabytes of storage on my Google Drive. And I think as you need to add more terabytes, I want to say it's an additional $10 a month. So it's, maybe that's what you're talking, Backblaze. Okay. So my particular method currently is I have Dropbox, and then I also have Google Drive, and then I've got my NAS here at my studio. So that way I can upload stuff to Dropbox or Google Drive as online backups. I don't use RAW. I don't back up RAW files in my online backup services. I just back up JPEGs. When it comes to the RAW files, those stay here on my NAS, which actually doesn't sound like a good idea now that I'm saying it out loud. So, hey, Sydney, finally glad you were able to make it in. I feel bad because sometimes I think that people who don't have Gmail or some kind of Google email, they can't actually join the chat. I don't know. Maybe Do some of you guys not have Gmail as your email account? I know some people might have Yahoo. Um, somebody I um, somebody I saw on the email list has like Rocket Mail, and then there were a few people with AOL as well. So uh, sorry, Sydney. I know that in the past when I used Facebook Live, the quality was really piss poor. It's like 480p, and it hurt my eyes to actually go back and rewatch the video. Plus, I don't know. I prefer YouTube. The video quality is much better. Now, according to Steve, the audio quality is having some issues. So again, I apologize for that. Hopefully it'll fix itself once the video is saved. So Sydney's Rocket Mail. Okay, that was you, Sydney. I'm not laughing at you, I promise. I think there were a couple other people that used like what was it, earthlink.net or something like that. Oh, it's okay. Everybody's got their thing. Let's see. Kaylee says, you need some kind of account to participate in chats for YouTube. I had to go to the app and click your page to join. Couldn't just click the link. Yeah, I've heard some people say that before. From what I understand, I think Andy earlier was saying that he was watching from his phone. He was able to comment once or a couple times telling me that he was in the weight room at the dentist. So I haven't seen him comment in a little while. So he's probably getting his teeth looked at as we speak. So so yeah. Okay, guys. I am on the end of the video. I still have a lot to do before I take off for the whole week. So, and all of us take off for the whole week. Plus, I still have some stuff I got to get prepared for school. But do me a favor if you were able to make it into the video today for the chat, just do me a favor, hit the like button for me. It just kind of helps create awareness for the channel. I'm going to try and see if I can fix the audio. I know that audio is super annoying. Like videos can be totally, people just don't like them that much if the actual audio is worse. They don't mind watching slightly crappier quality video, but it's the audio that really kills it. So hopefully I'll be able to figure that out. Let's see. Bye, Diana. Just saw you were live. Sorry I missed this. Hope your move went well. All the best. Thank you, Stephen. It was a lot of work, but we're really, really happy where we live. It's been a long time since we've actually lived in a real neighborhood, and I think the kids really, really love it. There's a park across the street that my son can play at. A lot of my kids' friends live in this neighborhood. I mean, we literally only moved about 5 minutes away. But the old place that we used to live at, where I still have my studio, it just hasn't gone up on the market yet. The houses were spaced much further apart, and most people on our street were retired. There weren't a lot of kids and stuff. So, plus it was a much, much older house. And of course, the taxes went way up because the lot was bigger than where it's at than the one that we have right now. But this place is perfect. We're loving it so much. And but thank you. Let's see. Okay, so with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Wow, we went from 2 likes to 8. Thank you. But for the most part, I am super excited to see everyone at Texas School next week. For those of you guys that won't be there, that's okay. I won't be doing a live stream next week, but as I've mentioned before, I really enjoy doing this. So I'm thinking about making it a weekly thing. Just, eventually once I get OBS working, I'll be able to do live demonstrations on, how to do software stuff, editing, retouching, all that jazz. Plus, oh, hey, Chloe, that's my Sheltie. She's ready to go for a walk. So, which is more important than the other stuff I have to do. So anyways, thank you guys again so much for watching. Really, really, really appreciate it. And I will see all of you guys, most of you guys, next week. All right.